Hello, I'm Paul.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Ben.
And welcome to FilmBusters.
You can be Ben Kenobi this week.
Yes.
Oh, you missed out on that one, didn't you?
The other
Well,
Ben.
He's Ben Kenobi, isn't he, anyway? So.
Or Ben, what's his name? Adam Driver's version of Ben.
Yeah.
Or Ben Mendelsohn from
Ben Solo.
from Rogue One.
Yes. There's Bens all over it. And also, I was one of the stormtroopers in Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, were you? No one would ever know because, anyone could be a stormtrooper.
Well, I was the one standing next to Harry Styles.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
FilmBusters.
So this is Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Merry Christmas,
Merry
boys.
Christmas, everyone.
I hope you had fun.
We had very, very much fun without you, Adam, last record.
I know. Adam, where were you for the last podcast, please?
I didn't get a chance to go see Frozen in time.
The fans were very disappointed.
It just makes it more exciting that I'm back. They never know if I'm going to be back for the next one or not. It's a whole thing now. Can Adam be bothered to turn up? Is there feud in FilmBusters? We're going to be at the front of all the newspapers.
It's like the running joke.
Rumour mill.
Yes. Anyway, today we are back to do the lovely Star Wars film Rise of Skywalker. I actually forgot what it was called then for a second.
Why you revealed your cards by calling it lovely?
I always call every film I watch lovely. Nice little backing music from Adam there. But before we talk about our review of the new Star Wars film, we'll go into our lovely staple of every episode, which is the quiz. If you don't know what the quiz is, I ask Adam and Ben 2 questions every episode. If they get it right, they get a point. If they get it wrong, I get the point. At the moment, I don't even know what the scores are right now.
Would you like me to tell you the scores?
Yeah, go on.
16 to Pennywise, 11 to Pennywise, and 7 to Annywise.
Anyways.
Yes. So I think we've only got 2 shows left this year, so considering we only have 2 points a show, that's it. I'm the winner. We established that.
You are the winner, but we will carry on with the show because we don't like to just finish the show without actually having an end to it properly and having a nice ceremony in our last final episode of the year.
Yes.
My first question is always a tagline question. It's something to do with the film or to do with someone who's part of the film, and that is the only clue I give these guys. So should we go for it?
Let's.
Here we go. The tagline is: the future begins.
Star Wars, as in the first one.
What one's that?
It's just called Star Wars.
What, you mean New Hope?
I don't know. Whatever the first ever Star Wars film made was.
Well, you're wrong anyway.
Is it one of the Star Trek films?
Go on.
A Next Generation? I don't know. One of the J.J. Abrams ones.
Go on. Just commit to something.
I don't know what they're called. Star Trek. The one with Benedict Cumberbatch.
You know what, Adam? I'm going to give it to you. It's Star Trek.
Yeah,
it's just called Star Trek.
Oh, you're such a dick.
I was thinking, I swear the first one's just called Star Trek.
It is.
Like the worst one's called just Star Wars. You know what? I actually had that answer in my head before you said the tagline because I thought he's probably going to do that because it's going to sound a bit Star Warsy.
Yeah, Ben got a little bit comfortable because he's thinking, oh, it must be something to do with Star Wars. You know, it's nothing. There's nothing else that this tagline could be. Yeah. Not the other franchise that's its competitor.
I know, but Star Trek is better than Star Wars, so of course you would refer to that.
That's just a wind-up for Adam, was it?
No.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's do the second question because I'm on a roll here and I don't want to stop.
Okay, second question. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. In Star Wars, The Force Awakens...
Which one's that? Oh, the first
of the new ones.
Yeah. This is a movie podcast. I have no fucking clue.
When Finn and Rey ask Han if he is the Han Solo, what does he reply? And just to give you a little bit of context, this is actually what Harrison Ford says in real life when someone asks him this question.
Is there any other ones?
Wrong.
That sounded like such a shit answer, Adam. You surely would know.
I don't know that. I don't know lines from the film.
I have no clue. I'm going to guess and say, "So everyone keeps telling me."
No, wrong.
Oh,
He says, "I used to be."
right.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a shit question. Pick a better one and record that bit.
No. That was a good question
That was
because
good
it's a
question.
fact about the film and it's a fact about Harrison Ford
Yeah, interesting. Interesting that is actually
because
Very good.
he hates Star Wars so much.
He does. It's weird, isn't it?
Had enough of it.
Does he hate? Ed, we'll talk about this in the podcast. I need to talk
Yes.
about Harrison Ford in the podcast.
Yes, we do.
Well done, Adam. That was your first point in about 6
3
months.
Yeah.
I think that's the first point since I got married in May.
Jeez.
So I'm on 7. I'm still 16 on. I didn't get one there. Very
Yeah.
good. 16 for Ben, 8 for Adam, 12 for Paul.
Oh, it's 12 for me. Okay. Oh yeah, because I just won
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
You just won one. Look at that.
Lovely. Okay. Beautiful. Should we go on to the feature of this episode and talk about Star Wars?
I can't wait.
The main event. Here is our feature topic, plus Adam might do a rubbish plot summary.
Are you fucking serious?
This is a deja vu moment for us, isn't it?
It
Our
is.
first podcast 2 years ago was exactly the same as this.
I know.
I know. And the thing that was cool about that was I really didn't want to see it because I couldn't care about Star Wars. And then I ended up kind of liking it more than you two.
Just give our listeners some context if you've come to this podcast for the first time. Star Wars. What was the second one called?
Force Awakens, wasn't it?
The Last
No,
Jedi.
The Last Jedi was our first ever episode on FilmBusters.
Was it? Did we
Yes.
not do Force
It was.
Awakens?
No.
No.
Oh.
We didn't
did
do
it.
Force Awakens.
So we've come full circle. This is actually our 2-year anniversary. Well, it was about on the 17th of December. So
Yay.
this is a lovely time. Full circle. We come to the last of the trilogy, and I'm very excited to hear your opinions.
But before Adam does his thingy, his special thing that he always does,
Oh yes.
tell the listeners, the new listeners, what the background is for Star Wars in regards to Adam.
Who I'm telling.
Well, Adam, you can tell.
I'm telling everyone why Adam loves Star Wars so much.
I just like Star Wars. It's cool, isn't it?
It's your favourite movie series, would you say? Franchise.
Probably out of the big franchises, yeah.
So more than Back to the Future.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The franchise, I wouldn't say Back to the Future is one of the big ones. I'm talking
well,
big
mate,
ones
it's
like
pretty fucking
Harry
big.
Potter, Marvel, Lord of the... Like, all those kind of blockbuster kind of money-making that have theme parks about them, all that kind of shit.
Did you fall in love with Star Wars because your parents liked it, or did you discover it yourself?
I kind of discovered my parents don't really care for Star Wars. They know the films, they watch them, but they don't love them.
I see.
So you found it yourself.
Yeah.
You couldn't find your dick with 2 hands and a map.
But I found Star Wars.
What was the first one you watched? Did you watch it from New Hope, or did you
Yeah.
stumble across?
I remember
one of the
it was
films?
I think I was about 10 when I first watched them. Because I remember the last one, number 6 came out just after. Yeah, I think I was getting ready to watch that one. That makes sense.
That 6th one isn't very good, is it?
I quite
With all the
enjoyed it.
little cuddly bears.
No.
Oh, he's talking about number 3, which is number 6.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I meant the 3rd one, as in the actual number 6.
That is also not very good anyway.
No. So is that a trend of the final film of each trilogy being bad? We'll find out. We'll find out what
Oh!
everyone thought.
Well, the third one was probably the best out of that trilogy.
I guess it probably was. You're probably
Episode
right.
6.
At least he
you mean.
gets his legs and arms cut off.
Episode 3, yeah. You've
Who gets his legs and arms cut off?
Anakin.
Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, I haven't seen that first, the episodes 1 to 3. I don't think I've seen any of them.
Oh, okay, that's why you're
Don't
a bit
bother me.
confused.
It's fine. You don't need to.
You watch the Phantom Menace and you'll love it, Ben.
You're like the only person I know that talks positively about that.
To be
I
fair,
don't
I
think
think
that positively about it.
the one character that Ben would really appreciate is Jar Jar Binks, and he's
He
missing
would
out.
love Judge.
I don't think so. I want to say something, but can't yet. Come on, let's get to it.
So, just so everyone knows, this is a spoiler episode. We will be spoiling Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I keep forgetting the name. So, if you have not watched this Star Wars film, then we will be ruining it. So, either go watch it and then come back to us, or just get spoiled.
But if you do go off and not watch it because we're going to spoil it, please do come back.
Please,
Yes,
we need you. We need
we
every
do.
fucking listener we can get. It's
We
a
do.
recession, man.
Yes,
The
yes.
Tories are in power now. We need you.
So, as we normally do, Adam, would you like to explain the plot?
So this is the 9th Star Wars film, the last in the modern trilogy. It's now the end. They are now trying to defeat the First Order and try and end everything forever. Because now they're killing everybody off, all the last people, like Emperor Palpatine and all those naughty boys, and the Sith Lords. And yeah.
Very naughty.
Yeah, and it's to rise the rebellion to end all. After getting pegged back in The Last Jedi to the bare minimum of what they have.
I feel like as Adam was telling the plot, then he was slowly falling asleep.
Yes. Which
Was I?
possibly suggests what his
I was trying
take
to
on the film is.
I was trying to think of stuff to say. That's my thinking voice. I sound sleepy.
That, you know what they should have done? They should have taken Adam's plot description and put that on top of the scroll at the beginning of the film.
And it's all like, after each sentence, ... And then...
And everybody's names in capital letters.
I would love to see what Adam just said in a Star Wars font scroll on the screen. People would be like, what the fuck has J.J. Abrams done to this series?
It's technically what's happening though.
Well, reveal your scores. No, you should go last, Adam.
Okay, you go first, Ben. Then
I'll go first. What do we do? Do we do a score, then a description, or a description and score? I can't
Description, then score.
All right, then. So, obviously, I saw this a day after it came out, and even by that point, everyone had gone batshit crazy on Twitter about how it was disappointing, how it was getting very mixed reviews, and people weren't very, very happy about it. And I enjoyed The Last Jedi, which you two didn't so much, and I know that people who did enjoy Last Jedi didn't like this, and people who didn't like Last Jedi enjoyed this. But I gotta say, by the end of the film, I was very mixed feelings, because the first hour of this film, I really didn't like. I was very, very bored, very, very dull. And by the end of the film, I was very much on board with it, and I thought, you know what? I had a lot of fun. That was very exciting, very enjoyable, but it was still not my cup of tea. So for that reason, I will give it a 7 out of 10.
Very good.
okay.
Just set the record straight. Wait, I actually enjoyed The Last Jedi.
You were very critical.
I gave it, well, I can't remember what Adam gave, but I gave it 8 out of 10. But it's just
Oh,
because
yeah,
You
you...
both gave it 8 out of 10.
because
but
you
were
liked...
very critical of it.
Yeah, because this is how we do, isn't it? Because you liked it more than us, so you're just like trying to defend it, and we're trying to shoot it down, but I still enjoyed it. But anyway, talking of this film, The Rise of Skywalker, I feel like J.J. Abrams, because he's come back for this third film, and for some reason didn't do the second one. I feel like they tried to rectify stuff they did in The Last Jedi. They tried to like change some bits back to the original plan that he had, and then I felt like it kind of ruined the story, because they were trying to change stuff that didn't need to be changed, and it kind of like hindered the enjoyment of like the running plot that he'd already created. And because of this, I was a little bit annoyed. As you said, probably the first hour, I was like, oh, what is this? Everything seems to be like being changed. It's like, this is not the original story we came here to see. And then by the end of it, I was like, yeah, it's all right. So I gave it a 7.
Okay.
Yeah, same experience, really.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt, yeah.
Here comes the big boy score.
I gave it 7 out of 10 as well.
Oh, no suspense, no build-up.
What do you want me to do? I don't
There's
build
no-
it up.
To be honest,
for it.
I don't think it needed to do a build-up for that.
I agree with both of you completely. The first hour is an absolute mess. They are trying... It's just... Every single scene is a different storyline, and it doesn't connect to the last one. It's like... It's all just happening. It's a bombardment of information that doesn't actually make any sense, or follow up from anything, or start off from anything. It's just they're starting new plots all over the place, and it doesn't work. It's just too messy. You don't know where you're standing with it. It's almost like they've got every theory possible from the whole of the Star Wars trilogy, and thought, oh, how can we make this theory happen? How can we make this happen? How can we make this happen? And it just gets messy. And then you kind of get a weird little lull in the middle where it's kind of just a bit... It kind of then focuses on one story, but they don't really have enough to make it interesting enough, so they're kind of just like padding it out a bit. And then I did enjoy the end of it. I thought at the end of it, I was sitting there, I was like, this film might not be great, but it still captured part of the magic of what Star Wars does bring to cinema. And like, it's not the best film ever, but it's like, this is what cinema can do and how it can, the idea and the imagination of these people to create this whole world of all of this that's been 42 years in the making, and now it is here again for the last time. I thought that was quite nice towards the end, but overall the film is not great.
Yeah, that's. I kind of expected you guys to think 7 as well. It was very average.
Yeah.
There was probably like towards the end, I was like, okay, I'm with it now. I'm a little bit excited, but that first half, I was like, just sitting there, just watching it unfold. I wasn't really having any kind of emotion with it.
And that's the thing. They had these big emotional moments, like Leia dying, spoiler, and all these characters coming back. And because it was so messy, and it was kind of, they're here. Like you said to me, saying my score with no suspense. It just you didn't get the emotional thing from it. It just like,
Totally.
that happened.
It's like
There's better be big emotional moments happening, and they just weren't.
Well, that's the thing. Like with Leia, I'm sure if she was still alive, it would be an emotional moment. But it's like, okay, she's dead. They're gonna get rid of her somehow.
I was amazed that she was in it. I like, she died how long ago? I had no idea that J.J. Abrams had already filmed all of this. So he'd already filmed most of this film by that point.
No, it's CGI.
Well, no, it's a bit of CGI. And it's
She was CGI.
Yeah, for most, like I think there's probably
Wow,
a
I
few
didn't
scenes.
But a
realise.
lot of it was like other takes she'd done from other bits
Yeah.
to kind of make it all kind of work in.
I tell you what, they are doing incredible stuff with people who like recreating faces now. Because that I didn't even clock that. I thought that they just filmed that with her before she died.
Yeah.
And this is the thing now. It's like everyone can do this now. That you got to step back and think, okay, but is that really impressive nowadays? It's not, because people can do this in any film. They can just recreate someone now. So you can't really take that as, wow, this is like an amazing film for that reason.
No, it's not an amazing film for that reason, no. I think that what you were saying about Adam, they listen to all these theories and want to pack them all in. That was probably the biggest problem with this film, is because they listened to the fans too much and thought, let's play to the fans. And I swear, they must have isolated a bunch of fans, because I don't really hear anyone saying good stuff about this film.
Yeah, they tried to please everybody and ended up pleasing nobody.
And they didn't have the balls or the conviction to really go through with any of the deaths. Because I tell you what really lost impact in this film for me is the moment that, who was the first one to go?
Leia.
I think it was Adam Driver, when she got him with the saber and then healed him. It's like, all right, so we thought he was going to die, but he's not.
Oh no, the first was
And then-
Chewie.
Chewie, yeah, okay, sorry, yeah, Chewie. So immediately, they built up no suspense either between us thinking he was dead and revealing he was alive. It was like 2 fucking minutes. And how good...
I always thought he'd been kidnapped. I just never thought he was dead. I didn't
What do you
at
mean?
any point in the film
he was
think
in
he was
that
dead.
ship that she fucking crashed down into the earth?
Yeah, but it was kind of...
Yeah, for those 2 minutes in between.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit... I
I did think he was going to come back, because if it's either they really do not care about this character enough to give him a good send off, or it's just he's going to come back in a sec.
I think that would have been a good send off, because by doing that, that was the first time I stood up and took notice in the film. That was the first scene where she was pulling that ship down with her hand and he was fighting her. I was like, okay, now we got a movie. So when that happened, I was like, oh, this is an interesting little twist now. This is interesting. And then Chewbacca becomes one of the first casualties of a new way of progressing the story. But no, 2 minutes later, revealed to be alive. But it wasn't just that. It was her healing Adam Driver, and then Adam Driver healing her, and C-3PO getting his memory wiped, but then really just going back to being C-3PO. Yeah. There was all of this. It made it hard to care about.
It's loads of fake outs.
It all just happened.
Loads of fake outs.
It all just happened. It was like, oh, that happened.
Yeah, and it was like, well, what does it matter if anyone dies here? And they were making it up when they went along, like the Emperor at the end, where you strike me down and you'll go into me. It's like, well, at the end, she did strike him down, but she doesn't go into him.
Yeah.
I know.
And it's like, it's because I reflected his powers back into him. It's like, what? When was that ever explained?
She killed himself, and also that's exactly how they did it in the Sick film.
Yes.
His power, he blowed himself back up with his lightning. But also, the main problem with this film, I think Disney got too heavily involved with it, and they tried making it a marketing campaign. I mean, yes, the Star Wars films have been quite bad. They've put characters in there, obviously, to try and make them cute and sell some stuff, but this one was just... It was shoehorning everything at every moment. It was just...
Yeah, it was throwing a lot of paint
it's like,
at the palette.
Yeah, Star Wars has always done it. Like, the Ewoks were kind of cute, but yeah, they kind of worked with the story as well as being what you wanted them to be. And they've done it before with, like, if you want to go back to Frozen, like, Olaf was obviously just a marketing toy, wasn't he? But he kind of worked with the film. He didn't take... But these were just, let's put something here, let's put something here. It's just like, stay away from it and let the people make a film.
Yeah.
I hope you're not talking about my boy Babu Frick.
No,
that's not going to sell as a toy. That's not going to sell as a toy.
I'm mainly talking
no one's going to buy
about
that.
The fucking wheel thing.
Yes.
What thing?
The little robot.
The little wheel with a cone on the head.
Oh, that was ridiculous. What was that? I thought there was going to be some grand revelation.
Yeah, it was just
like
fucking
he
useless.
had recorded something. There was nothing, yeah.
Okay, there is something massive that we've got to talk about, which is very, very odd how they did it.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to say it now, but then I feel like we should also walk through the story.
Yeah, all right. We'll stick a pin in that and come back to that. Then.
Okay.
One of the things that made me just think, well, this is already off to a bad note, is as soon as the opening scroll happens, it's like the dead have a voice or whatever it was. The dead speak. Emperor Palpatine's voice is heard throughout the thing. It's like, why the fuck are you telling us that? Show that.
I know.
That's significant, isn't it?
Odd.
Don't just go, it's happened off screen.
They were spelling it all out as well. It's like, even in the scroll, they had all the names in capitals.
I didn't even notice that.
All the everybody, if they were talking about somebody's name, the name was in capitals.
I love how you get annoyed by the most bizarre things that
I don't
remember.
remember.
Think of Adam.
And I don't remember that happening before on the other things. It might have happened before, but it's almost kind of like, put a flag in this bit because you need to know this bit.
Right.
See,
yeah,
one of the biggest problems with this film is I feel like J.J. Abrams is like, okay, I was supposed to have these stories like come out in the second film. Like, imagine a massive reveal that Palpatine was back in the second film would be like, oh shit, this is a queue up for the third film. For the final amazing battle that's going to be Palpatine back. But now it's just like, Palpatine's back, and it's like, okay, what are you talking about Palpatine's back? How did this happen?
But here's the thing, right? Does J.J. Abrams, is he like the overarching creator of this new trilogy? Because if he was, and that was his intention, he should have said to Rian Johnson, do whatever you got to do, but the thing you have to, in order for me, just like with any television series, you get other writers and directors in to do the middle episodes, but you explain what the storyline is. So if that was always his intention, he should have made that clear to Rian Johnson. And I do not think that that's the case. I think he was just like, people didn't like Last Jedi, so let me do this.
Yeah, I don't think he was overseeing it. I feel like he was overseeing the first one, and then they got Rian Johnson in to do his take on the and as he did, he carried on from the story, which you should do, like make a cohesive narrative. But then J.J. Abrams coming, let me just change it now to what I was thinking in the first place.
Yeah, it was just.
It's like, no, that's not good. What, you're making it all messy now? And then Kylo comes along. Let me put my helmet back on that I smashed up in the second one. It's like, let's make that all irrelevant. I wanted to get rid of this helmet and make myself a separate entity from these Sith Lords. Let me put it back on now. It's fine.
Let me put it back on. Yeah.
It's like, what's going on? It's like, follow the narrative properly.
I think that J.J. Abrams didn't like the fact that I always call him Rian Johnson. Maybe it is Rian Johnson. Went and did his own kind of Star Wars film, where he like made it a little bit different and challenging and made some unpopular decisions, and was like, I can't even address the things that he did. I need to just ignore them, and we'll go our own way. We're going to go back to this storyline. I think if this had been the second film, it would work much better than it works as the final film of not only this trilogy, the supposed whole saga.
And I've really felt like they've really looked at Endgame and thought, okay, what made that so good, the ending? Let's copy a few bits from that and like try and replicate it in the final battles.
Yeah, I mean, you always knew that was going to happen at some point. All the people are going to turn up and.
Well, yes, because they said it was so obvious. We're going to get everyone. Hopefully, these people will turn up. Hopefully, like there's loads of people in the world that hopefully they come. So obviously they're going to come. You're telling us now.
Yeah.
Okay, should we walk through this story and then we can pick apart different bits we liked or didn't like? Okay, so we've done the scrolling text. We hated it. Adam hated the capitals. we then immediately open to Kylo going to find the little triangle pyramid.
Yeah.
Which I didn't understand. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, it
was
starts
just basically
getting
a
like
compass.
kind of mythical and like all the stones and the thing that control this and that. It's like Avengers have done that. Like, let's not do that. It's not what you do in Star Wars, is it?
I still don't understand what they were controlling.
They were compasses.
It was.
And they told you
it wasn't
where you
control. It was a
needed to get
compass. Yeah, it was. It was basically.
that's right.
It was obviously the Sith temple was obviously in like some kind of plane where you have to have the map to get to it. You can't just go and find
It was
it. You
in
have
like
to
a
know
magnetic
exactly.
field, wasn't it? So nothing worked in there, like your whatever it was.
Who knows? Very vague. Very vague.
Very.
So Kylo goes and finds this thing. He does a nice little killing thing at the beginning, which I appreciated. But then this whole Sith thing happens immediately. He's just back. You know, no big reveal. He's just back.
Yeah.
But the other thing that we do learn is that what's his name has been created in a lab. Snoke.
Oh right, yeah.
So he's been
What did
created
you think
this whole
about
time.
that?
I wanted to have a better backstory than he did, and that's a really rubbish backstory. It's not even a backstory; it's just been created for no reason.
I think that was a reaction by J.J. Abrams to make Snoke seem more powerful, because Rian Johnson just killed him off out of nowhere. So I think he thought, well, rather than me just make out like he was nothing, let me make. If people were scared of Snoke, let me deal with the person who created Snoke as the villain.
The puppet master.
Aye.
So yeah, we get this whole thing that what is he asking Carlo to do? Go kill her.
To kill Daisy Ridley.
But he never actually wanted her to be dead. He wanted her to be alive.
He
So
wanted
why
her
did he tell him to kill her?
because he wanted to tell he told Kylo to go kill her, but he, instead of just trying to kill him on his own, he thought, okay, let me go find her so we can join forces and go kill him.
Yeah, but why did the Emperor say to Kylo, you need to kill Rey, when the Emperor wanted Rey to kill him?
Oh yeah. Well,
That makes no sense.
Yeah, well, obviously he's got this master plan. He knows exactly what everything's. He's 3 steps ahead of everyone. Knows exactly what they're going to do.
Oh, he does.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, apparently so.
Yeah,
You know,
that's what
because
he
he created
thought,
this whole thing.
Right.
But I think that's just sloppy writing.
I think that's exactly what it is. Yeah, sloppy writing.
There's
yeah.
a lot of sloppy writing.
Oh
in there.
shit! I forgot that he wanted to kill him. And then we're introduced to the old gang again, as they making wisecracks and whatnot. I don't like Oscar Isaac's character Poe.
He was really good in the first
I thought
one.
he was alright in Last Jedi. Well, yeah, maybe the first.
And
I can't even
then
remember
now he
the
just
first
turned
one.
into a bit of a... Oh.
Just a wisecracking arsehole, isn't
He
he?
hasn't really progressed the character. It's like, that's you.
He's just not very interesting.
They're really trying to they really try and set stories up in this, but they never pay off. Like, I
what
feel
I'm
like
saying.
there was some kind of real angry backstory behind Finn and him, and it's like he was angry, like, you're never gonna be like Leia. It's like, yeah, where's the payoff? She died,
Yeah.
and then it just finished.
I know.
That's what I'm saying at the beginning. They hit you with so much information, so many things, and they just don't do anything with them. Each scene is a different story that doesn't really connect to the next one in a way that makes any sense.
It's too much. You know, it's like proper Italian cooking. If you really want Italian food, strip back basics but good quality ingredients. That makes a nice, tasty dish. But this was J.J. Abrams going, I know how to make an Italian dish, and throwing in ready-made mixes and
Everything.
extra shit. And it's like, you don't need to throw all of that in, because you've swamped the thing.
You need the fresh ingredients.
Keep it fresh and keep it simple, stupid.
So we go from that, and then they go and find, what's the main girl's name? Rey.
Rey.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So Rey's floating with some rocks. I feel like in this film, her powers fluctuated to whatever the story needed it to be at the time.
Yeah, they started doing shit
yeah,
for no
totally.
reason. It's like, oh, suddenly you can heal people again. Oh, where did you get that from?
Yeah.
It's never happened before. It's a power now.
Yeah, this
I
is a
really
real
dislike that
big
healing.
problem I really didn't like it. It's like, why have you suddenly brought this power that you've never even like foreshadowed before in any other film?
Yeah.
And it's the crux of the story.
Yeah.
The whole story is dependent on her being able to heal people and the Sith taking that power so he can re-heal himself.
Yeah.
And also, they kept doing this thing of like, oh, she hasn't completed her training, like making it a thing, and then it didn't actually turn out to be hinder her at all.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm not worthy of having this lightsaber. Literally 2 minutes later, she takes the lightsaber.
She gets it back. Yeah, I know. But see, this is... Oh, man, what was J.J. Abrams thinking? It's that same thing. Like, where he's meant to be tricking us that Chewbacca is dead and then reveals him to be alive 2 minutes later. We then have a scene of, oh, I'm not worthy of this. And then 2 minutes later, gets it back. It's like, where's the build-up to anything, mate?
No.
Yeah.
You have no idea of how to structure a story all of a sudden. You know J.J. Abrams can tell a good story... But he just did it so poorly this time round.
Mm-hmm. It's like he's tries to think of things in the moment, and then the thing he just done 2 minutes ago, it's like, okay, it doesn't matter because we're telling this part of the story now. It's like, don't worry about we just made that story we just made us then. It's fine because we'll just change it and it just be part of this story now because we want the impact. We don't really care about logic.
No. And then they all jump in the ship.
Yes, they need to go because there is a
There's
spy.
one more. Yeah.
There's a spy. That's what Poe learned. That's what he learned when he was flying back to find her. There's a spy in
the First Order.
The First Order, and Kylo's trying to find this compass that takes you to the Sith temple. So their decision is to all go and find this compass.
Yeah.
That is the story.
Yes.
Rey's very upset that she's leaving Leia behind because they just want a nice send-off for Leia because they know she's dead. Give her a little tear coming out her eye. Even though she'd probably come and see her once you finish the mission, but it's fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they set off on their journey.
And they leave behind Rose, who had such a significant role in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, she was always
and they reduce her to fuck all.
Exactly.
Which is one of the biggest smites ever.
Exactly.
It is such a big smite.
And also the alien with the big glasses, whatever her name was.
Oh, fuck her. She's CGI.
Yeah, I know, but these are big characters
actress,
now that have just been whacked to the side.
I know, terrible. You know, Ryan Johnson tweeted this morning or last night just a picture of her.
Did he?
Yes, as if to say that you should not have put her in a fucking sideline, man.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, J.J. Abrams fucked it on her. Mm-hmm. Totally. He did a dirty on her.
I think he did a dirt on everyone, to be honest, but
Yeah, stupid.
It was total disservice. They set up this story with Finn. Like there's some kind of, even just like, I don't care if there wasn't a romance. There didn't need to be the romance.
No.
But she was such a big part of The Last Jedi. It's like, at least like pay some homage to her.
I really liked their partnership in The Last Jedi. And he barely, I don't even think he said a line to her in this film, did he?
No.
He did when they were on the Star Destroyer and it's going down.
What did he say?
And he was like, don't wait for me. And he's with that new girl, the one he met.
Oh, yeah, he's with the new girl
That is where it annoyed me even more, because they've suddenly introduced this new girl, and then it's just like, oh, I'm going off with this girl, Rose, don't worry about it.
Yes.
So what kind of writing is this?
Very poor writing.
I felt sorry for her.
Yeah. There was no good character
development,
depth of emotion or character development.
The only character that actually kind of came out of nowhere in this film was Richard E. Grant.
Yes, I very much enjoyed him.
He was very good in it as well. But
I was sure he was the mole.
Were you?
Oh yeah, because he was introduced.
Yeah.
The new character is the mole.
I thought it'd be so good because he was like so viciously bad guy, British bad guy. I thought he's definitely going to be the spy.
Yeah.
Alas.
Okay, so where do we go next? They go to find the compass, which is on some desert planet. Yes, there's a festival going on, which is I found very strange. It's almost like they're supposed to be in some kind of Indian country.
Yeah. With
some Indian aliens. Very odd.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like, why is this festival happening? I still didn't even really understand why they were there. But at this point, I had my first laugh of the film, the C-3PO one, when they all turn to look at him and then he turns around to look in the direction they're looking.
Oh, right.
That was funny. Physical comedy, see?
Yes, you love a bit of physical. don't you find the alien race to be weird?
I can't remember what they looked like.
They were wearing saris.
Well, maybe they were Indian.
I know, but I didn't find that was weird.
They were Indian aliens.
They were just all Indian aliens. It's like It's like
I'm an alien. I'm an Indian alien. That's their song. That's what they were singing at the festival.
Fuck's sake, man.
Anyway, away from that, they find
Lando.
They find Lando. Everyone knew it was him.
Yeah.
I know, but do you know what? It felt... Adam, you tell me. Did you get any pleasure?
That was quite a nice. That was quite a nice reveal.
Oh, you did. Okay.
I mean, I didn't really care. I didn't know I wanted to see him until we kind of popped up, and I was like, "Oh, that's quite nice."
Didn't you know he was in it?
No.
Oh.
Because you don't watch the trailers, do you, Adam?
I only watched the first one that came out.
Well, see, that is why it's good not to watch trailers, because then you get a nice experience.
But I would say that if you did not watch this trailer, and you didn't watch any trailers, and you came to this film, you would be like, "Wait a minute, what? Why is Palpatine back?" You would be like, "Did I miss something?"
And you almost needed to watch the trailer to make sure Palpatine was back. Like, you needed to know he was in the film, which is kind of annoying. They shouldn't have done that because that was a big reveal.
You're right. Maybe that was their way of setting it up.
It would have been odd. I would have felt like, was there an end credit scene that I missed or something? Odd.
Yes.
Well, quick question. I just remembered you talk about credit scenes. When you went to see the film, did they do a little montage before?
Definitely not.
No.
So
Did
when
you
I
get one?
went to see it, it was basically behind the scenes of all the other Star Wars films.
Oh.
So it was all
That's
like this
weird.
is like the actors hanging around on set, like them shooting scenes and mucking around, and like.
Did you see it in IMAX?
No, I went to see it in
Oh.
view, and it was in one of the, it wasn't in one of the big screens. It was in one of the like little ones, and it was kind of like this film's 42 years in the making. This is the end, like, and it kind of and then looks back at everything that was all the characters, all the people, mucking around, filming bits. It was quite nice.
It's a shame that they keep hyping it up like that, though, like 42 years in the making, because it is so not.
Yeah.
It feels like it's fine if it was a film that had been worked on for 2 years, not 42.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
So
sorry.
Lando is there. Old childish Gambino is there.
Yes.
And all I could think about was how bisexual he clearly was in the Solo one. And he seemed even more bisexual this time. But do you know that Billy D. Williams has come out and defined himself as gender neutral?
Really?
Hey.
Yep.
Oh.
So he's a they, them.
Okay.
Not a him, her, or a he, him.
When did this happen?
Well, last night.
I'm just wondering whether they influenced his character in Solo from that revelation.
I don't think so. I think it only came out a couple of months ago. I saw the article, Billy D. Williams saying, I'm a them. Although his Wikipedia hasn't updated because it said he is. He wouldn't be happy about that.
Terrible. So what happens after this? Oh yes, there's an abandoned ship. They go to this abandoned ship. There's a massive fight on some jet skis and some flying jetpacked stormtroopers.
Yeah, it is like that.
I really was worried when Finn threw the rope into the other jet ski. I was thinking that is very dangerous. It's going to end up pulling them off.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. And then I thought, oh no, the rope's going to tail along the back now because it's not going to just disconnect perfectly, but it did.
And they just broke. They did a little spin which smashed them into a rock. And I thought, but that'd drag them along as well.
Yeah. And also, they fucking flew into that rock. Like, they made a real point of showing how fucking far they flew into that rock to explode.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they showed the little stormtrooper falling off of it as it hit the rock because it's Disney and they didn't want to imply that the stormtrooper had burnt up. So they had
he was
to
still
show him
alive.
falling out.
Still alive.
Like, that's better. To fall a mile from the sky to your death is better than exploding and incinerating on impact.
Of course.
Idiots.
So they get to the ship, but then unfortunately they sink into the ground.
This is another thing that I kind of thought,
It's like they sunk into the ground.
It's a big part now. Oh my god, all the main characters are suddenly in danger. They could all die, and they get out of it in the click of a fingers, and it's like it never even happened. It's like why put them in a situation to build up the suspense, and then think, oh no, this is going to hinder the story. Let's get them out of here really quickly, just so we can carry on with the storyline.
But
So don't make a point of it, or make a point
something
of it.
very important happened when they're sinking into the ground.
Yes, it does, and I'm concerned.
What were you going to say?
Finn says,
Yeah.
I got something to tell you.
Yes.
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 Never say anything. Yeah.
And
he says it. Yes, he says it for the whole film and doesn't actually tell you what it is.
No. What? That's just occurred to me. What the fuck was that? Bit?
Exactly.
I think he's in love with her.
No, it wasn't.
Is it?
It's not. It's that he has some kind of force in him.
Where'd you get that from?
Because towards the end of the film, he's like, "Oh, I feel it. Oh, and do you remember when he felt that that she died?
He does.
Yes.
Because he has some kind of force connection. That's basically what it was. But for some reason,
why would he, when they're dying, sinking in that sand?
I have no idea.
I've got something to tell you. I've got the force too, and now I die. Why would that even be something worth sharing at that point?
Exactly, but he doesn't share it anyway.
Oh yeah, that's stupid. That's annoyed me now.
Exactly.
They didn't pay that off.
Yeah, they never pay it off, and I think you're supposed to think, okay, he's got some kind of force in him, because they 100% towards the end of the film they say, oh, it's just a feeling, or something, I have a feeling, and then he's like, oh, I can feel that Ray's dead or something. He starts crying and no one else knows apart from him.
Right.
I think that's what it's supposed to be, and I think that's supposed to be a little payoff to anyone can have the force now.
And he also said it's like his destiny to be here and all that kind of shit, didn't he? When he's speaking to the girl when they're
But either way, let's just assume that he doesn't have the force and that they just forgot to even write anything for that thing that
I
he
think
said.
that's probably more believable and more in keeping with how the fuck this film was written.
Yes, stupid. And that was the thing I was going to tell you at the beginning. But I wanted to wait till we got to a part of the story.
Yes. Anyway, they fell through the sand and into a cave.
Find
there was
dagger.
a big snake that looked like the Beetlejuice big snake.
Yep.
It just made me think of the Beetlejuice snake.
It was.
Beetlejuice turned into a snake.
Black and white stripes.
Very appalling. Why they spent like £2.50 on the budget for that puppet? It was very poor. Even the blood on it. If that was made in the 70s, fine.
Yeah.
This is where they had to show off Ray's new powers that she's got.
I don't know why she felt the need to heal it anyway.
For some reason, she just knew how to do it.
Yeah, never done it before, but trust me, I know what I'm doing now.
Yeah. It was just a little way to basically show what's going to happen in the end of the film. Silly scene.
Silly scene to set up the later things.
But they find the dagger down here. That's where they find the dagger.
Yes. And it pulls out. You can pull something out of it.
That's not. You don't find that out yet.
That is another stupid scene.
Really
as well, but carry on.
stupid.
But
Really
we'll get to that.
It has to
really
be exactly
crap.
on the exact spot at the exact moment.
Yes.
It has
And
to
what
be.
were the chances that she was standing on that spot when she pulled it out?
It's just like, come on. It's just like, this is the lazy writing of the film. It's like, you don't have to
Very
work anything
poor.
out. It just happens. Like, these moments that should be big moments of the film, it just happens. It's why there's no
It's like
emotional
something you
payoff
do
for
in a
anything.
video game.
There's no payoff
Yes.
because everything happens so quickly and so perfectly.
Yes.
It's just very lucky she didn't travel all the way to the actual dropped Star Destroyer, or was it? Is it Star
Death
Destroyer?
Star, wasn't it?
Wait, no, it's Death Star. Yeah, Death Star. Lucky she didn't travel all the way to the Death Star and then get it out and go, wait, what the fuck does this do?
I know.
Why the fuck is this thing open like this? I can't work out where I am from this.
Yeah.
Stupid. Anyway, let's go.
yes.
We got too far ahead of ourselves.
We have.
So they get the dagger, they get out, they start the ship. Oh, this is where Chewie disappears.
That's right. He
Yes.
gets hooked up in them weird cufflinks that he's been in before that go around his
Yeah.
neck.
Very irresponsible. Someone saying, Chewie, go tell her, because then it's like something's going to happen to Chewie now.
Yeah. Immediately.
Very
you
obvious
can tell.
writing. Yeah. I thought he was going to die, to be honest. There. I thought
They're
someone was
never
going to
gonna
shoot
kill
him, and I was like, yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, it would be good. That would show some balls, so show some
Yeah.
ambition once again. Especially in this, the last film, you may as well kill off some beloved characters. I know you did it with Leia, but that's not quite the same. Leia.
And the actor who plays Chewie is actually dead now, so
That would have been a nice opportunity
yes,
to
nice
to do
send
it.
off.
You could
Yeah.
tell that this was not the same Chewie actor. Hang on a minute. The actor who played Chewie in this film, has he played
Yeah,
Chewbacca in the previous couple?
2, yeah, he has. He's played him since
Oh.
The Force Awakens.
Right, because I didn't think his form was very good in this film. He didn't seem to walk like Chewbacca normally did. Also, his hair was a little bit too silky smooth, and when the wind was blowing on that
It was
planet,
all wispy.
It was real wispy, and it blew in the wind a little too easy for my liking. I mean that. That really stuck with me in the cinema. I was like,
I saw that as
annoying.
well. I realised that as well.
I like the hair to be matted and stick down to his body a bit.
Like a
All
normal
dirty
bear.
from that mud in
Like
the
a
pit.
normal bear, it's believable.
He doesn't have shampoo and Head and Shoulders.
Anyway, they take him up on the ship,
They all cry.
and then we get the first really good moment Adam Driver. I keep calling him Adam Driver. Can't remember what his name is in this.
Ren.
Ren.
Yeah.
Kylo
Ren comes speeding, and we saw it in the trailer a million times. Mm-hmm. But even when it happened in the film, it was quite good. Because I thought, they've played this in the trailer too much. But when she spun on top, I thought, that's quite nice. Because they dropped the sound out. I love when they drop the sound out in films.
There's a reason why they showed that scene for the trailer.
Why? Because they'll get people in.
Yes.
Yes, I know.
And there was nothing else to show in the trailer. Everything else was garbage.
True.
They can't show Chewbacca's wispy hair in the trailer.
No, because they would not have got my money for that ticket if they had. This was cool, wasn't it? What did you think of that scene where she was pulling the ship back? Again, it's a power that we kind of saw Luke exhibit in the early Star Wars when he pulled the ship out of the swamp and stuff like that. But to do it in this respect with a moving ship, I thought it was very nice. I liked it.
Very powerful.
And then the ship crashed into the desert.
And we're like, oh, she's got electric powers. How could that be?
I would very much like to Chewbacca have died in that situation, because it adds a bit of complexity and texture to what she's doing. Because it also shows that proximity she had to the dark side, where her desire to fight and her anger and her rage against what he was doing caused one of her companions to die. Yeah. That would have been a nice moment, but they fucked it.
They did. They didn't have the balls to carry it out.
Adam, would you have been disappointed if Chewbacca had died in that situation?
No.
See, that's what they should have done. That's what the fans wanted.
I would have preferred it if the tail of the ship was open and you just see Chewbacca standing there going, "Ooh!" and then the ship blew up.
As it exploded?
Yes.
Yeah.
That would have been brilliant.
Nice. I would have liked that too.
I would have cried.
That too.
I would have cried.
Like the dinosaur in Jurassic
Park. It reminds me of that, yeah. Very good. So anyway, let's move away from this scene. We're spending too much time on this silly film.
We need to speed up. We've been talking about this film for an hour now.
So C-3PO reads the dagger, and he's like, I have this written rule where I can't speak Sith to anyone because it's against my code.
Yeah, they go decode him basically.
Nothing else happens in between, does it? I feel there's something happening in between.
They introduce you to Richard E. Grant's character and Kylo Ren doing a Darth Vader thing of grabbing one of his men around the table.
Oh yes,
choking him
using
that shit.
Old tropes, all that stuff.
Yeah. Old tropes and old rhetoric.
Yes, indeed.
And then they end, and this annoyed me. I can't remember how they got there, but Poe, they're like, oh yeah, I'll go to this planet, I know someone there, and then they introduce this stupid fucking character who just looks like a motorbike driver, and that's his love interest. I'm like, what? Why are you wasting time on this in the last film? This is stupid.
Very silly. The whole altercation happens, and then she's like, "Oh, you're all right, actually, because she beats her."
Yeah.
What's that supposed to mean?
I know.
Or is it because she got her lightsaber out?
Rubbish.
I don't know.
Rubbish. I also thought she was going to be someone.
Yes.
Significant, because they weren't showing her face, and no, nothing happened.
No, she's nobody. Nobody.
Yeah.
Giving a little token to Poe.
Didn't even know what that token meant.
They put it into the ship and it gets them through the force field. Yeah, safe passage.
Yeah. Only used once.
Yeah.
I can't even remember them using that fucking.
They did.
Safe passage.
That's how they went and got Chewie. That's how they got Chewie. But first, we had to get C-3PO. We had to get into his mind. Your favourite little boy appears.
Yeah. What did you two think of the little beauty?
I enjoyed him. He was quite funny.
He was really funny, man.
That was a marketing campaign, toy thing that kind of worked with the story. It wasn't unnecessary, and it was kind of cute. And it's like, okay, that's sweet.
I don't think anyone would buy him.
He was cute, wasn't he?
No one would buy him.
No one's gonna obviously know.
I would take him if I could. If they sold that, I would take him.
He was funny when he introduced himself to C-3PO.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He was funny the whole time, man. All his lines were great. He was the best thing about his film. I'm not even saying that to be silly.
I can get that.
He really was.
I can get that. Get behind that, yeah.
I would have watched a film all about him. If Disney are going to be such assholes and dominate everything nowadays, they need to create a show about him for their stupid channel.
You'll be on board,
You've got little baby Yoda and him just hanging out.
You'll be on that Disney
Babu
Plus.
Fisk. What's his name? Come on.
Babu
Forget
Fisk.
it.
You just said it, didn't you? Babu Fisk.
Oh, it is. Okay, Babu Fisk. Good.
Maybe.
Babu
I might have just made it up.
Fisk. Well,
Sounds good. Sounds like the right name.
yeah. And here's another thing where they just totally missold us, where they were going to wipe C-3PO's memory, and it's like, oh, okay, here's a heartfelt moment, and then he gets the red eyes.
Yeah.
I like to see him with the red eyes.
Yeah.
And then he went back. I was hoping he was going to go evil
And then he
for a
went
bit.
back.
I was really
Yeah, they
hoping
should've
he would
let him go evil.
kick off, and they'd have to shut him down and maybe but they went nah. He's back to normal.
It was just wasted, wasn't it? It's just they're loads of wasted. They can't commit to anything in this film.
No, they can't.
Very silly. And then they got to go get Chewbacca because that's when Rey realizes, oh, Chewbacca's on the ship. Because Kylo is on the ground trying to search for her, and Rey's up on the ship.
I liked all of that. That was done well.
Yeah.
What, trying to find
When
Chewbacca?
they're in two different spaces.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, right, yeah,
when,
the effect,
when
yeah.
Rey and Ren are in different spaces. I thought that was done well. I liked that.
I also didn't really mind the bit that when they're on the ship, they're trying to find Chewie. The whole bit of we're supposed to be here and they have to
That
go
was
separate
quite
ways.
a nice little almost throwback to the old Star Wars films.
Infiltration on the ship.
This is the part of the film I did like. It was kind of like a nice look back through the films as well. It was a nice ending, and they touched on nice little parts. Like you went back to old places, but they didn't focus on it. It was just kind of they went back there and then a little nod to it, like almost a goodbye.
This is Avengers all over again, where Adam really thinks this is the last one.
But I thought this is meant to be the last one, no?
And they're gonna make different ones, but from different worlds.
Mate.
Are you fucking kidding?
Of course.
The guys from Game of Thrones are doing it, aren't they?
No, they're not anymore.
No, they dropped out of that, and that was going to be a TV series anyway.
Oh, okay.
But you must be crazy
so
to think
annoying.
that they're not going to make any more Star Wars films. But watching this film, I was thinking, Star Wars is done, surely. It's done now.
There was a Rian Johnson trilogy coming out, wasn't there?
Yes, but do you really think they're going to do that now?
Maybe.
They've all turned on Rian Johnson or Rian Johnson, whatever he's called.
Yeah, exactly. They
I'm
were
pissed off that I don't know how you say his name.
How could they turn him after knowing what this film was going to be?
Yeah, they did, but I don't know why they turned on him.
Yeah.
They all turned on him. That fucking Boyega and Oscar Isaac, they were like, oh yeah, it's good to get back to the old story because that was really the story that I was interested in. It's like, you just sell your man down the river. I swear, especially Boyega, fucking Rian Johnson put you in Last Jedi more significantly than you were in this film. You just didn't like it because you were buddied up with a woman throughout the film.
Disgrace.
No, that's what I'm saying about him.
Jump into
It
assumptions
was.
now, Ben.
I don't like that Boyega, man. He was in Attack the Block, and that was shit.
It was bad.
How do you get in a film like that and end up in a Star War? It's so bad.
In a Star War.
A Star Wars film. One thing I don't understand in this franchise is when do they need to use respirators to breathe and when don't they? Because they just float in space and they can breathe.
Which one?
But sometimes they don't need to. Like Finn was just standing on the edge of the spaceship like, come on, Ray.
Yeah, you might have a minute.
Oh
Wasn't
yeah, of
that
course.
long?
That's how space works.
Yeah.
There's a minute of oxygen in this place.
You can hold your breath for a minute.
He was shouting.
Yeah, you can hold your breath and
He was
shout.
shouting, but he was holding his breath and saying,
Come on, Ray. Come on, Ray. I got it. Come on, get on the ship. Get on the ship. I've still got 27 seconds.
Oh God.
that ginger guy was the little spy, by the way.
Yes.
So they,
And he just got
they
shot.
killed him off. Yeah.
Indeed.
Richard E. Grant dealt him justice, hard justice.
I didn't like him in the whole of the series, so I didn't care that he died.
No,
Yeah, he
I
was a
didn't
really big
either.
character in The Last Jedi, and then suddenly just turns into nothing.
Yeah, he was made out to be a
I
joke
don't think
in The
he's
Last
very
Jedi. Remember, he was the comic relief.
He was.
He was bad.
But again, that's J.J. Abrams spitting away from it and going, oh, no, not comic relief.
Yeah. It's like, let's just kill him off. Get rid of him.
This is when they go off with the fucking compass to find the cave and pull the protractor out of it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they don't have the compass
This
yet.
is that bit.
Yes, this is where they go C-3PO to find the compass. They have the knife.
That's
they
right.
don't have the compass. They go to that place
Yeah.
and they meet the people on the horses who are ex-stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. This is where we get the new sort of love interest for Finn. because that's how they were playing it.
Yes.
And,
That's right.
But Rey wants to go off. She wants to go get the compass of her own, so she goes. For some reason, Finn goes after her. He didn't need to.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. He did not need to go after her. You're just putting you both in danger. Let her be in danger.
I don't think they actually were there for any reason as well, because they just stood there while they were fighting.
She pumped him back with the Force anyway and said, "Stay back," and pumped him.
Yeah, just went for no reason.
Pumped him.
Well, what's the terminology? I don't know.
I don't know. Threw him back.
Threw him back. All right.
She pumped him back.
And then we got the nice little battle, which I enjoyed while the waves were crashing.
Yes, and this is the epic Leia scene.
Which wasn't very epic.
Which wasn't very epic.
No, she was like, I need to die to get his attention and distract
him. Yes, I need to die just to distract him for 10 seconds and then bring him back, so she died for no reason.
Kylo Ren died and Ben came alive.
Yes, of course, that's how it works. I also thought...
In this land,
do you reckon
apparently.
this was supposed to be some kind of significant thing that we didn't realise? That Leia transferred... As the Sith was going to transfer himself into Rey... Did Leia transfer herself into Kylo? Because when Kylo died at the end, Leia disappeared.
Maybe.
Well, why did they snog at the end then? That would be Leia snogging Rey.
Exactly.
No.
But what I'm trying to say is, why did she disappear only when Kylo disappeared?
Because that's the end of the battle. They're all at peace.
The end of the battle, yeah. They all needed to play their piece right up until evil had been destroyed.
Maybe, though. That is a good theory, though.
Because Leia's transferred her force into Kylo to keep him alive, and that is what the Sith Lord is going to do to Rey, right?
Yeah, but Leia didn't transfer her force into Kylo. Rey is the one who healed Ben. Leia didn't transfer into him. Leia just spoke to him.
But why did Leia disappear at the end when Kylo died?
Because it was the battle's over. The war is won.
Silly.
So everyone who played their part...
This is such bad writing, this film.
I know, but I guess it's the same as when Mark Hamill, when Luke Skywalker's robes fell to the floor at the end.
Yeah, but he actually like used up his energy and he died. Whereas Leia used up her energy and then she died like hours later.
Oh yeah, well maybe. Who knows how J.J. Abrams works this shit?
Who knows? So yeah, this is where Kylo dies, and we come and we see Han Solo. Hello, Ben. I'm here in this film that I don't like.
Hey, kid. How you doing, kid? That's all I could think when I saw him. I was like, you don't want to be here, Harrison, man.
No.
Like, you should have just said, no, I'm not going to go back for it. If you hate these films so much, and it's like, if you want to be such a miserable bastard about these films, stop appearing in them, mate.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to appear in them, whether it's for money or whatever, then be prepared to answer questions for the rest of your life about Star Wars, and don't be miserable about it.
Yeah.
I hate when people, like, I understand they must get sick of it, but when you're part of a huge franchise, whether it's
also the franchise that kind of gave you your career.
Yeah, without it, you're nothing. You've seen that interview where the guy says to him, who shot first, Greedo or Han? And he goes, I don't care.
That's great.
Anyway, the cunt comes back.
Yes, I feel like they were going to make that into Leia, and I feel like they should have just made it into Leia.
Yeah.
What, made him transgender?
Yes. They should have made Han Solo transgender.
And then Billy D. Williams comes along and says, hey guys, listen, I'm not transgender, but I just want everyone to know that I'm gender fluid, so you can call me they or them whenever you're talking about Lando. You don't refer to me as him, you refer to me as them. Is that okay, sir?
They should have done that.
Weird, Ben.
Leia would have been more impactful than Han appearing at that point.
Yeah, but it's the whole thing of all the characters coming in to say goodbye.
Yeah, of course. It's just they're trying to make everyone excited, but it wasn't very exciting.
It felt really hollow, didn't it? It didn't really feel properly emotional when he turned up. Again, Adam, I refer to you because you're the fan, but I didn't feel much when he turned up.
Nor did I. I was kind of like, really? You're here? Why? It was kind of shoehorning you in.
Did you get really excited when he threw his lightsaber into the sea?
Not really. I didn't. I kind of gave up caring at this point.
Should we move on then?
There was too much happening.
There was too much happening. Han was there. I got distracted. I didn't know what to do.
But you don't emotionally care because it's just happening.
Yes,
Like
I
him
know.
throwing his just that happened. He threw his lightsaber away. Okay, cool.
It's all right because we're getting close to the end of this film now. You don't have to be
We're not like halfway
confused much
through.
longer. Nah, we're close to the end.
So then what happens next?
He's just thrown his lightsaber away, mate.
Yeah,
He gets an erection.
he gets a 3-pointed erection.
He gets an erection, and then J.J. Abrams comes on the camera and says, "This is a family film."
So at this point, Rey's got the compass. She goes and makes her way to the Sith Lord.
No,
He tells
she goes
her-
and signs Luke because she gets Luke's X-Fighter.
Oh, who cares?
No, it's true. Do you know what? The way that our enthusiasm for this plot recap is going is like the same emotion for the film, where it's like, yeah, they had to go through the numbers of everything, but it's like, fucking just get to the point.
I
With it
know.
all.
Yes.
Like, she went back to that island. I'm like, why have you gone back to this fucking island just to get this ship?
Because that's when she realised she doesn't want anything to do with this anymore. But then Luke had to pick her back up again for some reason.
No, Luke came back as a ghost, and he reached out of the flames and grabbed the saber. That was
Yes,
silly.
yes.
I didn't like that.
His hair was longer. He had long hair. Longer than it was
you
before.
die. You grow when you die, don't you? Your hair still grows.
No, it's true. That's true. They don't have barbers in hell.
No.
You've
So
got
anyway,
fire.
she gets on the ship. She goes
Yes.
to see the Sith Lord at last. You can't kill him.
Yeah.
You can't kill him though. Because
Who?
you
Palpatine?
can't kill Palpatine because then his being will go into Rey. Which is another like little thing which like was this a thing? Has this always been a
Also,
thing?
there's one. Sorry, can we go back a second? There's one point where Adam Driver destroys the compass, and he says, "Only I know where the thing is now. You need me to get there."
Oh yes.
And yet she just gets there.
Yeah, because she that's what happens. She took Kylo's ship, and Kylo already had the compass from the beginning of the film.
Oh, he did, didn't? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then she goes and gets it again. Oh, sorry, that was my fault.
Yeah. So let's get to the final battle where Rey can't kill the Sith Lord.
You know what this final battle felt like?
Go.
Not the Palpatine bit, but everything that was happening outside with all the ships. What did it remind you of, Paul?
Endgame.
Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah,
When they're
it just made me think about Star Galactica.
when they're traveling, they got no fuel.
Yeah, but all of that, but just generally, like how the battles worked when you had the ships. And I remember thinking at the time, Battlestar Galactica, a fucking TV series, did it better than this is doing it right now.
They just kind of went for numbers, didn't they? This final battle, they went everything big,
They did.
Yeah,
big.
but I didn't like the final battle because it was silly. Because
The ships.
yeah,
or-
because they were all getting destroyed, right? And then loads of them appeared at the end, but then like one at a time they went and shot the cannons and blew them up.
yeah,
Like they weren't all shooting at the cannons. Just one person to do
I
it
know,
at a time.
but that's how it always works in movies, man, isn't it? Like, even if it's not something like that, if 5 villains are punching on our hero, they take it in turns to each attack the hero,
Yeah.
so he can deal with them individually. That's just movie nonsense, but when it's done well, you don't notice it. But yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
let's
did
talk
quite
about
enjoy this final battle though.
let's talk about something we did like. I liked when Kylo Ren was battling those guys.
Oh yeah, he was fucking him up with his
That was
lightsaber.
fine.
It was the most exciting
How
part.
did he get the lightsaber? Because she reached behind her back, and then he brought
Yeah,
one
because you know
out.
how they can do this thing where
Yeah.
they're in the same place, but they're not in the same place. Like when
And they
they were
can-
Yeah,
fighting
but
on the ship.
But was it her one lightsaber, or did she give him the second lightsaber that she had?
Second one.
Second one.
But then we never see him give it back to her, and then she has them.
No, because he turns up into the
Yeah.
arena, and then they're fighting together, aren't they?
And then they
he
both
destroys
drop
them
them,
both.
and then she picks them both up.
Oh, I don't
And
know
she's
what
like,
you're talking
"I've got the power. Oh, the Jedi's."
But first he goes, "You could have got the healing power," and he brought himself back. I don't know why it just made him an old man. I thought it was going to make him look better than he was.
He got his fingers back, is what he did.
Yes, his fingers were gone. Not very horrible. He had his stumpy little fingers.
I liked him. I liked him being all evil.
Yes.
With his cloak. Is it the same actor?
Yes.
As
Yeah.
the original one?
Yeah.
God, how old must he be? Wasn't he old in the original film?
No, they've redid him in the original films. It wasn't him.
They
Was
made
it?
him older.
They made him look older, or was it
Oh.
him? Because I think they. Do you know how George Lucas liked to go over his films again? I think they just put him into the original films.
Oh.
or something like that.
Okay.
Because in the original, it wasn't actually. It didn't look like what he looks like.
I hate that they do that.
I know.
Stop retconning
I don't know.
this stuff, man.
Adam should know this more than I do. I'm just trying.
I don't know this shit. I watched the film.
Anyway, we're coming to the end now. They just blast the electric back at him, and then he dies.
Rips his face off.
And then Kylo
And then everyone
brings her back.
This.
And then Kylo dies.
What do we think of this kiss?
Oh, I didn't like it.
It was a bit false. It was
I
like,
didn't like it either.
why? It was no build up to it, really.
Absolutely no need.
No, because
Yeah.
they hated each other.
Yeah.
Well, at least Ray hated
No,
him.
no reason to snog. It wasn't even like an appreciative kiss.
No,
It was a snog.
full on
Tongues.
silly.
For
Didn't
our
need
American listeners, French kiss is what we're talking
Didn't
about.
need it. They had no relationship.
didn't.
They weren't building up a relationship over this time. He was trying to convert her to the dark side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This wasn't like
It was
fighting
it
against
was
her
all sorts of
emotions
wrong.
for him.
Do you know what that was? It was fan service. There must have been a section of fans who were like, "Oh, we want them to get together," and they
Yeah.
pleased them, and that was it. There's no reason for them to do it. It's totally out of character.
It was like
and
always
it
a
makes
balance
no
within the
fucking
fourth
sense.
between good and evil that they're now... Yeah.
And then what happens?
They all go and they're all crying and clapping hands and going way, and then Ray comes back to the place
wheel.
and she cuddles BB-8, and then I thought, why the fuck has this little round robot even been in this film? He's done nothing.
He opened up the trap door and they threw some bombs in. That's
That's
all I
the
thought.
only thing, and I knew you were going to say that because when I was watching the film, I was like, "Is this literally the only thing he's done in this fucking film?" And it was.
Yeah,
He literally opened a trap door, and that was it.
He also was fell under a tree. That's all he did.
He was a piece of shit.
Oh.
I should have smashed that fucker up when it came to Elstree. You remember when it came to Elstree for Children in Need many years ago?
Yeah.
Should have smashed that fucker up.
He was good back then, though. He was alright.
Yeah, he was fine. And now in this film, he was reduced to a bum. And then it had a nice thing where she goes to, I don't know what it's called, Tatooine?
Yeah, where Luke was from.
Was it
And looks at
Tatooine?
Luke's old place. What?
Was it Tatooine though?
Yeah, it
Did
was
Tatooine get
Tatooine.
Yeah,
blown up?
Tatooine, yeah. Oh, yeah, it did. That's what I thought as well. I thought it did get blown up, but it was very much Luke's home, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It got set fire to.
Didn't it get blown up in Star Wars, though, Luke?
It does get destroyed in one of them, I think.
But blown up or set on fire?
No, his house gets burnt down.
Oh yeah, it
Okay,
definitely
so they don't
did.
blow up the planet.
No. They blow up Leia's planet. The Death Star blows up Leia's home planet.
Oh, yeah, Leia's
Okay.
planet. Leia's planet.
Oh.
Was it? I don't know what it's called. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah.
Gypsy Kings.
Gypsy Kings.
Well, that was the name of her planet.
There wasn't a planet called Gypsy Kings.
Mate, you're a Star Wars fan, and Leia comes from Gypsy Kings. Forget this. And then,
What did you think of the very last moment?
The old lady saying,
The old Ryan goes, "What's
your name?"
Who
It's
are
like,
you?"
why'd you care?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Let me look over here. Oh, there's two Force ghosts. Skywalker.
I hated that they were like Leia and Mark cuddling, Leia and Luke cuddling while they were looking like proud parents.
Having some incestual
It's fine.
relationship in the afterlife.
I didn't really enjoy it or think it was bad that that's her calling herself a Skywalker.
No.
Do you know
It's
when
fine.
Luke hands Rey the Leia's lightsaber, and she's like, "Oh, Leia was trained to be a Jedi, but she never did." It's like suddenly whacking that in there to make it a bit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was out of nowhere, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
graphics were very
The
good.
graphics were good,
when they were young.
but it was just another way to flaunt their technology.
Yeah, it was just like another.
Yeah.
It was like another what do you call it thing, another fan theory shoveled into the film.
Yeah, they were trying to, because they couldn't pay off on the whole Leia being having the Force, and because she was dead, they couldn't have any way to like pay off with that whole storyline. So that was the payoff, that she was a Jedi all along,
Yeah.
or something. This film really needs to like go back
Read
and
it.
look at the story they're
Do you know
trying
what
to tell.
It feels a bit like the Game of Thrones finale. Like they had so much built
Interesting
up.
comparison.
Then they suddenly
Yeah.
just go, I don't know how to end this. Let's just try and make everybody happy with all these random bits and shoving it together, but
Totally.
not actually go anywhere with it.
I agree with
And then
it.
it kind of ends.
That's true.
And doing all these things,
true.
all this, and starting all these bits like, oh, that's interesting to find out what happens there, and really building it up, and then they just forget to answer the questions to it.
One thing that I liked about this, which I didn't like about the other two, was Daisy Ridley for the first time didn't annoy me. She really annoyed me in the other two.
Yeah, she was very moany.
I think it's because she
wasn't
didn't smile in this film. In the other two, she had a bit more innocence and like cockiness, whereas this one she was more serious, and I needed her to be serious.
You compared her to Keira Knightley, didn't you?
Yeah, she's very Keira Knightley, isn't she? Also, she thinks she wasn't born into privilege. Stupid idiot, isn't it?
Stupid.
They did a terrible thing at the end.
What do they do?
When they go back to the resistance camp and Lando sits down with the new girl.
Oh, what is that?
Yeah,
You know what that is. You know exactly what that is, right? They've got to make a fucking Disney show.
That's what it was,
He's
something
not
like
gonna
that, yes.
bang her.
100%.
Did you notice the two girls kissing when they got back?
Yes.
They had a lesbian
Yes, it
kiss.
went on for about 1 second. It was stupid. A lesbian kiss. But, mate, you love to sensationalise, don't you? It was a lesbian kiss. Yes, it's two girls kissing. We know that's a lesbian kiss.
Yeah, I know, whatever. It's like in a Disney
It was
film.
a
they're
lesbian
like,
kiss.
It's almost like they put a point of it because older with Disney, we're not backwards.
I know,
anymore.
but it was so that like they may as well not have done it at all, because unless you're going to give it some importance. If you listen to our podcast about Frozen the other day, Adam, we discussed this and Disney dealing with homosexual relationships, and like we were saying at the time, is they need to do more than just hint or make a side character potentially.
Or don't make it
maybe
into
gay.
a thing. Just do it like it's normal. Don't make it into a thing if you are going to do it.
Exactly.
I don't think they made it into too much of it. They needed to make it into more of a thing. That's the whole point. They had to go
stupid. They shouldn't have
rather than
done it at all.
going, look at this lesbian kiss that we did. Look everyone, look. Let's get into the headlines. It's like, no, just how about make a serious story and craft the story around that whole storyline rather than just say, oh, there it is. Look, at the end they're really happy, so they have a lesbian kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Foolish.
But yeah, Lando talking to her, yeah, it was like some kind of spin-off. That's what it's going to be, isn't it?
It felt a bit weird. It felt
a bit odd.
It would be a Disney spin-off. It was weird. It felt like it was more important.
Yes.
But it wasn't important.
It just felt creepy.
Yeah.
Because she kind of had a face like, what the fuck?
It was creepy.
No, really.
She seemed concerned.
So that's our Star Wars. Done.
What
and
a
the
film.
overwhelming feeling is of being underwhelmed. We are overwhelmingly underwhelmed.
Considering how much we slated this film, I feel like we should have rated it lower than a 7. But I did actually kind of thought it was all right when I was watching
still enjoyable at the end. It was kind of like, oh, it was bad. It was bad, but it was also kind of good at the same time. It had its moments.
I enjoyed these. I feel like I would much rather they keep making these than Marvel films, because feel like I enjoy these much more than the Marvel films.
I feel like with the Marvel films, they know how to craft a story and actually pay off to everything that happened before them in all the other films better than Star Wars has done.
Maybe. The only thing with that, though, is it was the same people doing everything. The Russo brothers, wasn't it? They looked over everything. So.
Yeah, which they need to do. It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, look here. We need to position it.
Oh, yes, let's do it.
It's a 7 for all. So overall, let's do this. Adam, here's your 7s. Where do you position it? Your 4 7s this year, from highest to lowest. It Chapter 2, Can You Ever Forgive Me, Toy Story 4, and Captain Marvel.
Oh, in that order did I put him?
In that order you put.
Above Toy Story 4.
So Can You Ever Forgive Me was better.
Yeah.
I'd done the same on my one. Mine's The House That Jack Built, and then Can You Ever Forgive Me, and then I'm going to put Star Wars under that. And also for me, it's one above Toy Story 4. So we got a same sandwich, Adam.
Oh, that's cute.
Can You Ever Forgive Me is the top slice of bread, and Toy Story 4 is the bottom slice of bread. And in the middle, we got a bit of Star Wars bologna. And Paul, your 3 7s in order from best to worst. Terminator Dark Fate, Captain Marvel, Green Book.
It's going to go underneath Terminator.
It's a dead set 7, so together we must decide, and here's an interesting one.
Okay.
On our overall films of all time, we've got 2 films at the number 7 spot. The lower one is Green Book, and the top one is Solo. So was Solo better than this?
Above Solo. I feel like I prefer to watch that than Solo again.
You're right. You're right. And I gave
Yeah.
Solo a 6, so I can't be a hypocrite.
Yeah, go on.
Paul,
Pippa.
Adam, you gave Solo an 8, mate.
Yeah.
So you enjoyed Solo more than this.
So, but the two of you override me, so it doesn't matter.
That's true. So it goes above Green Book, but below Solo. Yeah.
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 Very good.
Look at
Well,
that.
that's the end of our year.
Ooh. So we actually know what we're going to talk about next time.
We do. Would you like to tell the listeners?
Yes, our next episode will be our best and worst of 2019.
Dun dun dun.
I'm looking forward to this. Just talking about
looking forward to it.
everything we've watched on the podcast, everything we've watched just in general, talking about our top 10s of the year. It's going to be nice.
I'm looking forward to getting into the top 10s of the year that we ain't covered on the podcast. We'll have some interesting combos there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
If you guys want to get in touch with us, you can get in touch with us at FilmBusters Pod on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Or you can email us at filmbusters@outlook.com. Or
Hooray!
if you want to get to us on our website where we got lovely little reviews, we got all our podcasts on there, or Adam's lovely little face as a cartoon. If you want to go see that,
Yeah.
that's at www.filmbusterspod.co.uk. But we also
Hooray!
have our individual Twitter accounts. I'm at FilmBusters. Paul.
I'm at FilmBusters Adam.
And I'm at FilmBusters Samantha.
Wouldn't get the reference. Wouldn't get the reference, Adam, would you?
Missed the reference, Adam.
Oh, is that because it's a Frozen reference?
It is.
Yes.
Best moment of the film, mate.
You were FilmBusters Samantha last week.
You were.
Oh, was I FilmBusters Samantha then?
Because no one was there to say your Twitter name, so we had to
You could
say
have
something.
taken it off an old podcast. I don't know why we have to re-record this shit every week when we could just take it off an old podcast.
Because you say this every
Adam.
week and it's fine. It's fun.
Let's take this moment to reveal to our listeners that Adam isn't a real person. It's actually Kim Cattrall. And Kim Cattrall has been on our podcast for 2 years. Thanks so much for everything you do, Kim. You're really convincing, Kim. And your laugh as well. Kim, thanks so much, yeah? I hope you have a good Christmas with the girls back in New York.
It's very good. It's a very good Sex and the City reference. Well done.
You do love a bit of Sex and the
It
City,
is,
don't
you get it? You see?
Yes, I get
it.
it.
Clever. Not many will. Some will, some won't. There you go.
FilmBusters.